Hey guys, Flaring Pain here. We're hopping into an Odyssey draft. They're doing Odyssey Draft, Odyssey block flashback drafts over the weekend here. Let's take a look at our pack here. Volley of Boulders is an awesome card, dealing 6 wherever you want. It does cost 9 mana, and you can flash it back for 6 red. This card's kind of crazy, but it actually is a really powerful card. It can really make you just basically win right when you cast it. Engulfing Flames is okay. It deals 1 damage twice. Lunatic is pretty good. You can sacrifice to deal some damage. You can try to go ham with Partick Firecat because it counts as a flame burst. But it's not as good as the other one, the green one. Cephalid Looter is awesome. Just looters in general are good. This guy's very good. I think we're probably going to take him. He's a really strong card. Yeah, we're going to slam that looter, I think. Alright, I don't remember what Pedantic Learning does. Whenever a land card is put into your graveyard from your library, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. So whenever you mill a land card away, I'm sure that goes with something, but we're not going to worry about it. Alright, let's take a look here at this pack. Strike Force is an okay card. Got to discard at random, but it's still first strike on that guy's pretty good. Beguiler's not amazing. Dematerialize is pretty good. Bounce a permanent and then bounce another permanent way later. Peak is okay. Patrol Hound is decent. I think we're going to go with Dematerialize here. Alright, Springing Tiger is a pretty solid card. Also, Aven Wind Reader is pretty good in this format. Being able to... actually, just a 3/3 flyer for 5 is just good at this time in Magic. Blazing Salvo is a very weak card. It looks like it's good, but it's actually pretty bad. It can deal 3 unless they're willing to take 5, and they just take 5, usually. And then if they don't want to take 5, they'll let you kill their guy. Punisher cards is the name of that effect, and those are pretty rough. Now we could take Gravedigger. Gravedigger's actually pretty dang good and goes nicely with the looter. Springing Tiger goes nicely with the looter too. I think it's possible we'll wield this Aven Wind Reader. It's possible. People don't know everything about this old format necessarily. I think we're going to go with the Gravedigger here. Let's try to do it. Alright, so we're going to get rewarded by a second Gravedigger, but man, white is wide open. Nomad Decoy is a good white creature with Threshold, being able to tap 2 guys at once. Second Thoughts is a pretty good white card as well. It's a little expensive, but it's pretty good. And Caretaker's nice as well. We're going to grab this Gravedigger, though, and stick to where we are. So we're shaping up reasonably. The Looter's a really nice card, and then the 2 Gravediggers actually go pretty good with the Looter, since we can get any of the creatures that we'd have to loot away back. Dematerialize is nice because we can loot it into the graveyard and still get an effect off of it with the flashback. This was a really fun format to play in its day. Alright, taking a look over this pack. These are actually pretty nasty. The spheres, they prevent 2 of every time a source would deal damage. They're pretty gross. Alright, this card's actually really good. It's a 3/5 flyer with Threshold, and it's a 2/4 until then, so it's just pretty mediocre until then, but when it turns into a 3/5 flyer, it's pretty dumb. Syncopate is a reasonable counter. I think Repel is what we want. Repel is pretty gross. We're going to need to take some dudes at some point. A lot of the 2-drops in this format kind of suck. So we may find that we don't want too many of the early guys, but we do want a few of them so we can Gravedig for them. There are a lot of ways to deal 1 in this format too, so we may lose our looter to something and then we can get it back with a digger. Just real quick, we're going to make sure we're recording here. Looks good. Looks like we've got sound, which is what we want. We want sound. Pretty badly. So here we can name a card, then put the top card of our library into the discard pile. And if The card has the chosen name. You draw 2 cards, otherwise draw a card. So we could repel into predict. That's pretty gross. And predict isn't the worst card ever anyways. But otherwise you just draw a card. It's 2 mana, draw a card. Peek is fun. I kind of like predict. It's kind of fun. It's probably not the best, but it's pretty fun. Seafloor Debris is decent. These are all okay, where they can make any color, but they're not great. I think I'm gonna go with predict actually. Peek's probably actually better. Predict's more fun. I'm gonna go with predict. Alright, Buried Alive is not really a thing in this. I mean, you could do it if you have some of the rares, but I guess if you have a few Zombifies, you could try to do it. Fledgling Imp is fine. We're going to grab him. He's not great, but he's okay. Creatures are just worse back then. Nowhere near how they are now. This guy is actually not the worst. He looks horrible. In fact, nowadays, if you had this guy and you just had to pay a black to make him fly, people would just be like, oh, that's terrible. You shouldn't have to pay a black to make him fly. Alright. Patchwork Gnomes are okay. Overeager Apprentice is awful. Whispering Shade is not great, but it's actually okay. It can just be really oppressive in the late game, and it's a nice silver bullet against black that black just can't beat, basically. So we can take that. We can throw it in our sideboard. Maybe we'll play it, or maybe we'll throw it in the sideboard, depending on how many creatures we end up with. It's got some cool art as well. Okay, so here we've got an option. Here we've got 5 dudes. This Psionic Gift is a pretty good card in this format. We could also take Crypt Creeper. Nobody took the Lunatic. It's funny. I think we should take Crypt Creeper, though, just so we have another 2-drop. We just don't have any 2-drops yet. This guy's really, really, really bad. He's just horrible. We could take the Gift. The Gift is pretty sweet, but I think we're just not gonna worry about the Gift right now. We're just gonna grab this Crypt Creeper. He's got to deal combat damage, so that part doesn't work. So this guy's actually just horrible. It's just like helping them get Threshold. It's just like ridiculously awful. We're gonna grab Seafloor Debris. I doubt we'll actually play it. This is only gonna be worth it if we decide to play 3 colors. Alright, so the Tiger made it back to us, and the Wind Rider did not. So we're going to grab the Tiger and throw it in the board for now, unless we want Sarcatog, and I don't think we do. Alright, so there we go. We got a Tiger in the board just in case. This guy's pretty bad. We're going to take this guy. We're going to slow down on that white a little bit. Doesn't look like we're getting past much blue. We got a Repel is the only really strong blue card we got past. And it's not that strong. We opened the looter, but it looks like somebody's in blue next to us. The 2 Gravediggers are a nice signal. The black's open, the Gravediggers are nice. Good card. Firebolt is an awesome card. This card is really good. It's shock and then shock again. It's just a really, really, really great card. It might actually be our pick here, because we really don't have a good black or blue card to take. Hallowed Healer is a really strong card. And Firebolt. Those are the 2 really good cards that are in this pack. We could take Hallowed Healer instead. But I just like Firebolt a lot more. Firebolt is really, really nice. Yeah, I think we're going to slam that Firebolt. Elephant Ambush is a decent card. Rotting Giant. Rotting Giant's nice if you can keep fueling it, but it's kind of hard to fuel. Careful Study's a pretty good card in this format. Getting you to Threshold and getting your flashback online. Thermoblast is a good card too, though. It's creature removal, even though it seems really expensive. It's a little expensive, but it's pretty solid. Innocent Blood could actually be a good card in our deck with all these diggers. I think I want to take the Thermoblast here. Oh man, Squirrel Nest. This card is awesome. Just keeps making squirrels. Every turn you can tap the land, you put this on and make a squirrel. Pretty dang good. Wild Mongrel too. Man, green looks open. Alright, Squirrel Nest is really good. Like, there's not much better than that. There's also Wild Mongrel, which is a great card. You know, I'm not 100% sure what we should do here. This card's reasonable. Just kill something. He's okay. Yeah, I think I actually want to take the Squirrel's Nest or the Mongrel. I think I might want to take the Mongrel. You know, this is crazy that we're getting into like so many colors here. It seems just insane. But the Mongrel and the Nest are both really good. Man, this is tough. I guess we could take the Morgue Theft. Morgue Theft is super annoying. Let's just grab that. That's at least on color. That might not have been the pick, but we need to do something there. Chain Flinger is boss. This card is really good. Card's just great. Alright, so we're gonna slam that guy. Even Wind Reader's good, but it's nothing like the Chain Flinger. Another Wind Reader. Another Tiger. Mad Dog has to attack each turn. It's not the worst thing ever. Could get Tiger, could get Aven Wind Reader. That's brutally terrible. Could get Psionic Gift. I think I like the Wind Reader here of these options. Let's do it. A lot of good green. Alright, we could take the Peak or we could take a Seafloor Debris. This might help us splash. Let's take the Seafloor Debris. Deluge is pretty powerful. It's a pretty powerful effect here. Here's a weird, kind of bad counterspell. This card's interesting. It's a 3-for-1, but it blows up an attacker. It can kill anything. It's not a good card, but it's not horrible either. It actually does do things sometimes. I think we're going to take the Deluge and see if we want to throw it in sometimes. This can just be win the game. You can obviously imagine a situation, right, where just there are a lot of creatures on both sides, and then you just cast this, and then you can attack. All right. I guess we'll try Syncopate. These last few packs are pretty unimpressive. Might should have got on here and drafted this in the early stages when no one had any idea what was going on. Seems like people are a little bit clued in, although the green does appear to be a little bit open. Might should have switched into the green during that Wild Mongrel Squirrel Nest pack. But alas, we didn't have infinite time. This is pretty scary going into pack 3. We don't have a lot of playables. I guess we have a bunch of cards we could play from the board here, but... King Soil, New York QSI card. Okay, that card's pretty weird. Oh man, Shower of Coals is really awesome. Flame Burst is good too, but Shower of Coals. 2 damage up to 3 targets. Threshold 4 damage up to 3 targets. This card's almost as good as Cone of Flame, so this is the card we're going to take here. A lot of good cards in this pack. It would be sweet if one of these 3 cards got back to us. Probably pretty unlikely, but it could happen. If not, the Anarchist wouldn't be terrible. Nice Shower of Coals there. That's a good thing to grab. Haven Fisher's pretty fun. He draws a card. Aether Burst is okay. Thought Eater is probably one of the better ones of these guys, even though he reduces your hand size, because it's a 2/2 flyer for 2. Pretty weird. I guess we're going to go with the Haven Fisher here. The card's interesting. This card's actually pretty gross. It's a double fog. And interestingly enough, if you can fog twice with one card, it changes how good the fog is quite a bit. This card is super annoying. It's very strong. Really, really annoying. If you can't kill it, it makes combat really just... You can't even have combat. It's just horrible. Let's check out the ink. You can throw the ink on somebody and make them have to discard cards to untap them. This card's reasonable. It's not great, but it's okay. We might have to take that. Could also take one of the grunts. I think we're probably going to take the ink. That card's pretty weak. Alright, let's take the ink. Man, green was so open. Alright, so Zombie Infestation is kind of cool. It's kind of a way to use up all your extra stuff. So we could take the Zombie Infestation. Makes it so you can hold your lands and get some value from that with the Infestation. That might be the play here. Let's go ahead and do that. We don't really have a lot of good choices. Acceptable Losses is not a great card, because you got to discard a card at random. But it is, you know, it does something. It's not horrible, but it's you know, it's the losses are actually rather unacceptable. Alright, so Barbarian Lunatic is pretty good. We've also got the Escape Artist, which is actually kind of cool, since it can't be blocked. And you can also bounce it back to your hand. Repel is good, but we need some more creatures, so I think we're going to take the Lunatic. So we could take the Mad Dog or the Whispering Shade. I think we're going to have to take the Mad Dog here. This deck's definitely not awesome. It's going to be tough to get 3 wins with this one. This guy's actually not the worst. I mean, he's not great, but he's not terrible either. He's kind of okay. I almost want to take him. Maybe we will take him. Escape Artist is okay. I kind of think we should take the stupid Limestone Golem. Although, you know, maybe not. Maybe we'll just take the... Yeah, let's just take this Limestone Golem. He's big. This format's kind of weird. Alright, so we could take Thought Eater here. Man, this Hallowed Healer is here. Gross. Oh yeah, that's baloney. Awakening's pretty nasty. We might be able to create a permanent loop with our Gravediggers. Maybe we should go for that with the Awakening. Thought Eater really eats up the hand, so I think we'll go with the Awakening for fun. Bamboozle. Kind of janky. It's card disadvantage. We could play the Ember Beast. We don't have a million guys, but we've got some. I kind of like the Ember Beast too. Aether Burst might be fun. Just a bounce spell. Just first strike, but +3/+0 with Threshold. So Aether Burst or Thought Eater here. Let's go Thought Eater. Alright, let's see if we can build this pile. Should have switched into green, it feels like. Okay, these guys are really bad, so I don't want to put those in. This is a card I could play, this is a card I could play. The rest of those cards, I don't think I should play. I guess Kamal's Desire, but not really. I mean, pretty rough. So let's look at these in terms of which ones are dudes. Alright, so we've got 16 dudes. We can cut a couple dudes if we want. We can go down to like 14 dudes if we want. Let's see what we have that we don't really need. We probably don't need Predict. Since our deck didn't get very good and we're in a bunch of colors, we probably don't need to screw around with that. I kind of want to keep us into decent black so our shade will be decent so we can play Malevolent Awakening, because that's one of the ways we can win. So we need to cut 4 more cards. So we need to either slim down our red or slim down our blue. Maybe a little bit of both. One more. Let's see what else we can find to throw out of here. Maybe the Fledgling Imp. He's blacked. I don't really want to throw him out. But he might be one we need to take out of here. We could take out Filthy Cur too. Or we could take out Thought Eater. Yeah, I guess we can roll with this. If we throw in these 3 C4 debris, what kind of mana should we be rolling with? Man, we need some red and we need some black. Pretty even split here. We don't need that amount of blue because we've already got some of those blues. We need a good bit of red and we need a good bit of black because we got to be able to cast both of our double-costed cards. Our red double coster is the best card we have. I think this looks reasonable. This is going to be pretty nasty. This is not a great deck.